Alright, so this is the April update for my capstone project and the final update I'll be doing for Chris, although I do plan to continue this project, and at this point there is a lot more I can and would like to actually do. There's a lot of very small roadblocks that after a while will open up and allow me to do a lot more. I'll explain them as we go on. So first, I just added a basic main menu, the game, right? Just play and exit. Right now, you highlight them, exit the game. Of course, it's very basic. You play the game, you spawn in. If you notice now from last time, these two are just templates. This will be assuming if the only player one. So I'll go over what exactly this all means in case you're unfamiliar with fighting games, so you can just follow the mouse. So I want to get it working properly with the button inputs, but I have to connect to get. I could have just programmed the UI strictly in Blueprints, but because of how I want to handle the game, which most of it being C++, I have to hit a little roadblock. I just want to get this as is and just show a proof of concept when it comes to this. And I'll explain again what the roadblocks is. So um, red bar is your health bar, of course, right? When you would lose health, the health would decrease accordingly, and then obviously based on damage, every character has different health values, and so on and so forth. The white icon would be where your character's picture is. So if you're familiar with traditional fighters, that's where they are. It would be mirrored on the other side. The blue bar is what your meter is, your special like your super and ultra combo meters. It would be. The three is for how many like levels of charge you have on it, because we've done multiple ones. One thing that I would need to do is figure out how to have multiple UI bars changed based on how much charge bar you get. So an example is that if you have one completed bar of special move, it'll be blue. When you have two, it'll be green. When you have three, it'll be red, and so on and so forth. That kind of idea. If you know of traditional fighters, you see that basically everywhere. I don't. I believe I showcased this off last time. I'll just give you a moment. Play a game. Okay, usually it would work, but I guess of course my showcase off isn't working, but it had worked in the past, and that's what it is. But the main point, I'll just switch over to my Windows at here. So what I want to do is I want to make a method, or so plans for the future is that there's two current roadblocks in my way that prevent me from making pretty substantial movements. One is that when I want to spawn a hitbox, so the way I had approached it was that I want it to be a hitbox, a generic hitbox class, and when I spawn it, it'll have an enum or overrides, and that'll determine its properties, such as being a high or a low, and having different sizes or whatever. You can I would long term connect it to a character, so it would not just be a generic hitbox to CBP. If you have like a generic character, and part of that generic character, you have access to smaller classes inside of it. And it's like a whole lot of connections you can do. And the first problem is that when I attempt to spawn a hitbox, I'm unable to determine. I can't send overloads to it. At least how I see it right now. It's very annoying. So that's the main problem, is that I want to just have a low hitbox because I'm unable to differentiate between that. Unfortunately, I'm always spawn one hitbox. So in the future, I would want to figure out how to do that. And I feel these are very small questions as well. They're not like big tasks, especially with this. Once I figure out this, I can have a snowball effect, because once I know how to make one hitbox differentiate itself, I can have a whole bunch of things. I can make it based off of buttons and then eventually inputs. The next thing would be related to the UI. So if you look over here, the random method I just called it for then, because I was testing out, it's currently labeled as blueprint callable, but I tried to make a blueprint implementable so that in blueprints you'd be able to implement the C++ code side of it, and that would be where I'd interact with the UI. So when the player is damaged, it would call this method. This method would go into blueprints, and the blueprints would change the UI, because I don't want to use the Slate UI, and I have numerous features on it. So maybe it will be better long term to use Slate UI, but for now, that's what I have. Again, this feels very simple of a fix. It's just that it's giving me like an int32 error or whatnot that I can't exactly understand. I'm sure it's a good. I mean, it depends, because this seems like a very complicated error. But again, once I figure out how to do this, I can just change out the UI, how I repeat it for how meter works, taking damage, and all sorts of other areas. So very small steps that I need to take that let me just expand the game by a massive horizon. So that's what I'm working on. I'm likely to be continuing working on this in the summer. If I could find a tutor or something, or if somebody who really knows Unreal Engine, especially the C++ side, that'd be static. because I definitely believe that I maybe it's from being inspired from the castle people at a showcase. I do, but when you said that there was potential here, or not maybe potential, but he was interested to see what there was I could do, like the possibilities. I was very starstruck. I was like, you know what, I can make this a legit project. I believe that I can make this a very nice portfolio piece in the future, and hopefully next semester, or because it's a much more product, a much more refined product, I can put this in a portfolio with full pride and make this, my shining Joe, my crowning achievement.